Hello viewers, welcome to DinpasTV. We thank you so much for joining us, and today's topic is about dementia in the BME community. Of course, I have with me Chino Wills Cole. Have I said that right?
That's right.
Yes, who was with us last time, having a great discussion on the awareness of dementia. Of course, we had Ivy Fletcher who joined us as well, and she was talking from the point of view of being a carer for a mother who sadly passed away in July this year. Now, Chino, thank you so much for coming back onto this onto DinpasTV.
My pleasure.
It's such an honor to have you here today. The last time we met, I learned so much from your studies around dementia and the awareness of it, and I'm actually believing and thinking it's just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it?
Indeed.
Yes, I know you've got a lot more to share with us.
It's a journey we're going to be on a journey on this, and so we're hoping that over the series, our viewers will understand exactly why we want people to be aware of dementia.
Well, to be honest with you, when we finished the program and I went home, I didn't go straight to bed, by the way, and I was doing a lot more research on this, and it was just mind blowing.
Yes,
and I just felt so honoured, and so the gratitude and being so thankful for someone who's actually got so much knowledge to share with us. And I just want to say thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
And of course, there is someone else that I mustn't even forget when we come on DinpasTV, the founder of DinpasTV, who's doing an amazing job within our community with all the different topics, all these things that we feel there is a stigma that we don't talk about.
Yes.
And honestly, I take my hat off to him for the amazing work he's doing. Thank you so much, Dinpa, for the amazing work that you're doing. But moving on swiftly, I am so happy today to find out a bit more about dementia in the BME community. So tell me a little bit more about why you chose this particular heading as your dissertation, so to speak, when you did your master's. Why this particular area?
I think what caught my interest is when you go into studies, you have an overview of what you want to do. Then as you go through the journey, you begin to narrow down what you really want to think about and what you want to achieve.
Yeah. And
so what I discovered is there's a lot of studies and things done on dementia and different ethnic groups, different group of people, but kind of a little bit limited on the side of the BME. And so that caught my interest, and then I said, okay, if this is what we're going to do, we have to push it further. So I specifically actually did a research on music for people living with dementia.
Yeah.
And maybe somewhere along the line we might talk about music and the BME people with dementia. So that's what caught my interest, and I really found a gap in the sense that not so many BME people won't embrace the idea that we have to accept that dementia is here with us, and we really need to make our people aware that it's going nowhere.
Absolutely, it's here to stay, and really the more knowledge we gain, the better for us.
Yes.
Rather than maybe trying to think that actually it doesn't happen in our community, because it clearly does.
It does.
Doesn't it?
It does indeed. It does. And there's a huge large number of it. As we go along, we get into small narrow figures, and then people can see that exactly why we need to be talking about dementia in our community.
Right. Okay. I mean, so what are the statistics around BME with dementia? What are the sort of statistics that you found whilst you were doing your research?
Well, usually it depends on where you get your information from. But majority of the information you will get is they will start on the overview that in the United Kingdom, for example, there are over 850,000 people living with dementia, and then the BME, as you said, specifically, you have over 25,000 of them living with dementia. And considering that if you look at the population, the BME on itself, which is the Black and Afro-Caribbean, make up about 3% of the UK population. So which means 25,000 for us is quite a huge number.
Yes.
So, but with this huge number, we know that our people are getting to the age where people usually say the older you get, the more likely you get dementia. So we're thinking about those in the 70s and 80s. And as the number grows, this number, 25,000, is going to grow. And this is why we really want to capture this now. And hopefully through DinpasTV, we begin to push this knowledge and begin to push the awareness out. And so the number is staggering, is growing year after year. And this is why we're trying to create this awareness. Yeah.
Tell me some of the stories that you hear when you were doing your research, or of course working with dementia patients. What are the stories you hear, particularly within the BME community?
Well, as you know, we coming from Africa, you have all kinds of perceptions about illnesses, and some of them we don't believe that they're natural. You know, so some of, for example, I did kind of interview with a group of Christian group, and
yes.
you know, something we might talk about along the line.
Of course.
And you find out that majority of them didn't believe that dementia is a natural condition.
Right.
You know, they felt is some of them have this perception is maybe something you've done in the past, or is something from somebody from your family has done in the past.
Yeah.
To the extent, I mean, one of the ones that actually made me look at myself and think, really, I need to do something is some of them thinking that this could actually affect the young people getting married to people they love.
Oh,
so in my perception,
this is their
thinking,
understanding.
This is how we're thinking that a condition that everybody can acknowledge exists, but our community is thinking this is a condition that actually can affect a young person marrying somebody. So it's almost like they see it as a hindrance, so they don't see it as a condition. So those are some of the funny
stories, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm from Ghana. You're from Nigeria, yes. Is that right? Yeah. I'm from Ghana, and of course, the stories I hear is that if there's an older person in the household who's probably got dementia, come to think of it, as I'm speaking to you now, they will think that person's bewitched.
Yes.
And, you know, they would come out with all sorts of stories. And
yes, and that's something as we go along, you begin to discover that that's some of the stigma. And this is why some of them lock themselves away, they don't want to come out. Because they feel like, if I come out and say I've got this condition, people will label me. And so it's a big issue within the BME community that once people get certain condition, they're automatically discarded. And this is why we really need to create this awareness.
Okay, so how do we create this awareness then? How do we do this?
There's a lot of ways we can create awareness, but one of the ones that come to my mind easily is if we create a culturally based, personalized activity for people living with dementia. And I'll give you an example. So if you go to, say, a Ghanaian environment and you discover things that culturally people of Ghana enjoy doing, if you find somebody who's been diagnosed with dementia, you have to try and personalize the activities for the individual based on their culture. And that means letting caregivers understand the individual's culture. And if the caregivers understand the individual's culture and everything is geared towards taking care of the individual culturally, you might begin to create better awareness. Because on one hand, you are letting the caregivers understand exactly what the individual's culture is. And on the other hand, the individual is now presented, is being taken care of based on their culture. So that is one way of doing it. And the other way of doing it is what we're doing now.
Of course.
If we can have more of this in our communities and pushing and discussing it, and moreover, make contact with community centers, liaise with voluntary organizations, even to churches. So if we can begin to push all these ideas out there, we might create more awareness.
But do you actually believe that it might also be a very good idea that we start giving people the education from a young age? When I say very young, I'm talking about like maybe secondary schools and colleges and so forth.
Yes. If you remember, we talked about maybe perhaps taking DinpasTV up to the secondary school level.
Yes,
and that is ambition.
Yeah.
Because if we can start discussing these issues at an early age, because make no mistake, there are a lot of issues that are taken to secondary school level to discuss.
Of course,
So why don't we take dementia and educate our younger ones to say, this is here, dementia is here. So as they grow older, they begin to understand some of the symptoms. And then it's not going to be a surprise to them, it's not going to panic them. But because we haven't created that awareness, people get frightened when, for example, they see granddad, grandmom, uncle, auntie behaving or having those symptoms. People are getting frightened, and this is where again people begin to withdraw. And isolation is a very big issue in the BME.
Yeah, of course.
So if we can go down to secondary school level and bring people up to understand exactly what is happening, then they will understand that there's nothing to be ashamed of saying someone have dementia.
Oh dear, do you know what? It breaks my heart, when I hear stories like that. But hey, gradually we'll get there, because I know that it's not easy working with our
it's a journey. I think this is a journey that we're building up.
And of course, people that have experienced, people that know maybe that their family member who have got dementia should be educated around this, and perhaps educate the next generation. It should be something we should even be able to talk about at the dining table.
Yes, and that's exactly how we hope that going forward, people will be able to sit down and talk about it, and without looking behind and watching. Am I saying the right things or am I not saying the right things? As we go along, we're still gonna do maybe communicating with people with dementia, and do things for carers of people living with dementia. So there are a whole lot of topic we can do, because dementia is huge, and we need to start pushing it and creating awareness, because there's a lot of gaps in between, especially for the BME. There's a huge gap in trying to get people to actually understand what is going on, because like I said, the number is going to increase as the year goes on.
Now, when I first met you, which is a couple of weeks ago, I think when you were doing your research, you might have approached a few people within the BME community. Tell me some of the stories that you heard. What are some of the stories?
You hear lots of stories, and sometimes it gets difficult for you to actually get people to come and sit down and have a discussion. You send out surveys, and probably people, they don't even send it back, and then you make contact to say, can I come and talk to you? Sometimes they say, oh, yeah, you come and talk to you. At the minute you start saying, what do you think about dementia? Have you heard about dementia? People begin to look at you and thinking, oh, I really don't want to discuss it. It's not something I want to discuss. So it's very difficult to try and break that barrier. There's a whole big barrier in between the specialists, what they're trying to do, and what we experience within the dementia community. So what we're hoping going forward is to be able to break these barriers down. Because as the individual gets to the age where they are diagnosed with dementia, we want to be able to create activities around them to support them, because we have to realize that dementia is part of human existence. There's nothing we can do. The condition is here. And the most difficult thing about it is when you tell them that there is no cure for this condition, then they said, oh, God will heal me.
Oh, right, okay.
And I said,
okay, fair enough. Prayer moves
faith is good.
We know that.
Faith is good.
But it's also reality and knowledge.
The reality, because, one example, I'll give you one strange example. I asked one of them, I said, do you fly?
Okay,
He said, yes. He flies. When he goes to Africa, obviously, he'll fly. I said, yeah. I said, do you know the size of aeroplane? He said, it's huge. I said, have you ever imagined how such big machine can fly like a bird in the sky? And he sat silent and said, I've never thought about that. I said, but you believe an engineer, you believe engineers, to make such a big object, you go inside and it carries you to Africa. You believe in that, but you don't believe that dementia is real.
It's real. Oh, goodness me.
So in the end, we were able to convince him to say, why don't you do a little bit of reading of this and that, and so you can see what we're talking about. So that is the kind of battle that we go through to try and see whether our people can understand exactly what we're trying to do.
To be honest with you, there's a lot of things within our community that they just don't want to engage with. It's either a taboo, or there's a stigma, or they don't even understand what it is. Instead of going out there to find out a bit more, we tend to shut it all away until our back is against the wall. And even that is someone else's fault, isn't it? The witch.
Always somebody's fault. And if you think about it, in this environment that we are in, we have the opportunity that to at least we're opportune to have the national health at the point of need. So all you need to do is go to your GP.
Like
ask
you said
questions. Like I said last
Yeah.
time, go there and ask questions. But some people would want to have given a chance to go and ask questions. And this is where the BME, this is where we fall short. We always have to wait until it's too late before we begin to seek help. And again, it boils down to what I said before, stigma. We don't want to be seen as having a condition as dementia, which is a worry for us.
It's a huge worry, isn't it? And you know what? I think somehow, this message may go to someone, and I'm going to face the camera to say that if you're watching this program and you've experienced you've known someone who's got dementia, or you work with someone who's got dementia, and you've got any advice for anyone, please do send a message. You can send a message on Facebook, or you can WhatsApp us, or you can text us, or you can call us, and the number is 07944 346 and that number will of course be on the screen, where you can ring and discuss, put a question across, and of course I'm sure Chino and all the medical fields, whoever we can contact to help us.
We do our best to answer the questions.
Because I know that you're actually in the middle of setting up your own charity,
Yes.
and it's specifically for Black ethnic minority groups,
Yes,
isn't it?
and that's the whole. I think the whole concept of this Dementia In BME thing is, I'm so passionate about it because during my studies, there's a whole lot of battles you go through, and trying to get our people to understand that this is what is going on. And one thing, the experts will tell you, they don't like excuses. They want people to take chances, come out and ask questions. The experts are there. There's a whole lot of things people can do, but again, it boils down to, do we really want to do it? And even sometimes we want to do it, we are not educating our people enough. We lack this in our communities. For example, you can have centers for people with dementia to have a day center and activities, but are we actually going there and giving them activities based on their individual needs? So you have activities created as a blanket for everybody, but not everybody will react the same way to every activity. So as we go along the journey, I will also begin to bring it down, maybe bring other specialists to talk about nutrition, craft, knitting, music, and things like that. These are all activities that can help people living with dementia. But in the BME, most of the time we're not receptive about all this. And so we have a lot of battle to go, but this is something I believe DinpasTV is going to help us.
It's going to help us to bring this forward, So, I mean, we've spoken about stigma, and it is difficult, how do we, and I've already asked you, how do we get past this, but in a nutshell, how do we overcome this stigma and the barriers so that we would be more educated and be able to pass the knowledge on to the next generation? What is the stigma and how do we get past that?
I think some of the issues about stigma is in a way that if you, for example, take an example, an African community, an African family, in most of those places of that setup, men do not often admit there's something wrong with them. Because we have it at the back of our mind that a man is very strong, almost beyond reproach or anything. So they believe that they're indestructible. So that is one thing that then, as that kicks in, the stigma comes in, and then you can imagine African culture as well. We like to talk. Some people say, "Oh, did you see Mr. This? Oh, he's changing now. I saw Mr. This in the supermarket. He was just walking and talking to himself." You see, and then Mr. A tells Mr. B, Mr. B tells Mr. C, and before you know what is happening, the entire community is labeling the individual. But nobody's thinking, why is Mr. A behaving like this? Maybe there's something we can do. So that's where the stigma begins to build up and build up. And then people begin to get isolated and retreat because they don't want people to see them in that kind of manner or that behavior. And so as people begin to retreat, you find out that in the BME community, isolation is a big issue, and all is based to stigma.
And what kind of, when you talk about us, like people being isolated, oh God, my heart breaks when I hear things like that. Because their family member rejected them because of the condition, or they don't understand what to do with them. So, for example, the question I'm trying to get to is, the carers that take care of people with dementia, are they sort of special training for them? And what are some of the things that people should be looking out for example, if you're a carer?
Well, carers, most of the time, I believe the carers are trained. They're very well trained. But one of the issues we have about caring for people living with dementia is most of the carers are there specifically for maybe 40 minutes, an hour, as the case may be. So they want to go in and do the job and get out. So they don't actually have time to have communication or watch the individual, try and see what else they can do. Make no mistake, people still want to earn their living, so they go in there, do the job, and come out. However, what we're trying to now push through is, for somebody to take care of someone living with dementia, let us base the training on them understanding this, that someone living with dementia has cultural and social needs. And so if we can base their personal care, personalize it in a way that when the carers are taking care of them, they think about their culture, they think about their social surrounding, they think about everything, and then communicate with the family. Because most of the time, carers go and do what they have to do and they get out. So, but you need to communicate, because every day you go in to look at somebody who's living with dementia, something's changed. You might come in and they're relaxed, everything is okay. The next day you come in, they're a bit agitated. So you have to understand the difference between when they're agitated and when they're not agitated. And one of the funny things is people always think they're very angry. They will lash out. It's frustration. You can imagine when people used to be able to do things for themselves and they don't do anymore. They get frustrated. So if you come in and you feel that somebody is agitated, they're lashing out, because you're trained to understand how they will behave, you give them time. You take your time to approach them. But as carers come in, they're actually booked for a specific time. They want to do what they have to and get out. And that is where the problem is. So if we can train people and engage people and let them engage with people living with dementia, spend time with them, then we might be able to break this barrier of trying to see whether the individual living with dementia is angry or whether they're receptive about what you're trying to do for them.
Wow, this is just mind-blowing. It's just so fantastic, honestly. Every time I'm coming on DinpasTV, I just get so excited because I walk out with so much knowledge. You couldn't pay for this, to be honest. No money can buy this information that we're getting from you, which is really, really awesome. So just going back to, whilst you were talking, I made a few notes here. And with dementia, would you say more maybe women would get dementia than men? Or is it equally the same? Or what's the statistics around that?
Well,
for example, or maybe there isn't any.
Well, there are statistics about that. I think one of the things that we need to understand is everybody can get it.
Everybody can get it. Yeah.
And then most of them, like the BME, you probably get maybe more of vascular dementia.
Okay.
Just
give me the example again, because you explained what that was last time, wasn't it?
Vascular dementia, you have the Alzheimer's.
Why do BME get the one you just said?
Because vascular dementia is more the BMEs and BMEs. Most of them have what we call hypertension.
Yes.
So hypertension causes most of these symptoms of vascular dementia, and that's why you probably have majority of BMEs having that. Having said that, we still have Alzheimer's, we still have mixed dementias, we still have frontotemporal. There's a whole range of conditions that we have. But what we need to understand is there's a growing number of both men and women who have been diagnosed of dementia. And what we need to do is to make sure that we provide conditions suitable for every individual based on their personal needs. And that is why we probably, along this journey, we'll talk about personalized care for an individual living with a condition. So if you personalize care for someone, you probably get more out of what you're caring than just generalizing the care. So yes, your question, men and women do get it. And
there's not one more than the other.
The gap is not too much as what we're thinking that is too much. But what we're trying to do is to make sure that we wrap everything together and say to BME people, this is what we're dealing with. We want you to come with us on this journey, and so that we can push this further and talk about it, and people begin to understand that dementia is part of what is happening today.
So you're actually hoping to take this to Nigeria, aren't you? Hopefully in the future.
Hopefully, if we get people that are really interested in what we're doing through DinpasTV, DinpasTV is ready to educate wherever.
Exactly.
So we're not restricting this to say people to just look at it and see what we're doing. We are ready to go to anywhere to bring the program, bring the awareness to people. So yes, in future, we're hoping to, if it means touring Africa, because there's a huge gap in Africa.
There is.
So that would be something we'll be thinking about.
That's amazing. Thank you for that. And also what I wanted to say was, moving on from what you just said, that if you're watching this program and you want us to come to your space to talk about dementia and all the other programs that we've actually aired, but particularly with dementia, because we've got about 10 series of this, different topics. Carers of people living with dementia will be another topic. Communicating with people living with dementia will be another. And there's just so many different areas that we're going to be looking at. So if you are watching us and you feel that you need us to come to your space, to whether it's a church or whether it's education setting, whatever it might be, we are ready to do that. Of course, we are always looking for sponsors. Everything we do here involves money. And it's important that we have some kind of sponsorship. If you can sponsor us with this program, please do contact us on 07944 346028. Honestly, it's just so overwhelming with information about dementia in the BME community. So just tell me something, Chino. Have you personally taken care of somebody who's got dementia who is from the BME community? Tell me a little bit of what you experienced.
Well, I mean, part of the training is you have to get your hands, as they say, dirty, which means you actually physically do the job. You can't say somebody, you studied it without actually knowing practically how to take care of somebody living with dementia. So part of my training was doing, going in there, taking care of people living with dementia, and it's all about I did, everybody. It's not specific to BME at the time, but I was also taking care of everybody else. And what you do realize is every person that you go to take care of is different from the other. They might have the same condition, they might have almost identical symptoms, but their personalities differ. And this is why we call it for personalized care.
Yes.
So I also specialize in personalized care, drawing personalized care plan for individuals. So you go in, you study the environment, you look at the individual, you personalize all the care. So yeah, one of the things that I really enjoy doing in my line of training to caring people is going in, having time, not rushing to do what I'm supposed to do. Because sometimes you go in, they don't want to talk to you, but you have to be patient. And so when you're patient and you find your way gently, you will see them, they will open up to you. Because you have to realize that they're so used to doing things for themselves, but they don't realize what the environment is now. So yes, to your question, it's always nice to understand the person you're caring for. And for you to actually say you have done the studies, you have to try and practically take care of people living with dementia.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. So what message do you have for our viewers or anyone watching? What would you say to our community?
Well, the message I've got for our community is this. You have seen what we're trying to do through DinpasTV. You got the contact, you got the email, you got all the information that you need. All we need you to do is ring in, email, look for us, look at all the clips we put in, look at all the sessions we're gonna do, join us as we do the sessions, and when you have all the questions, email us, ring us, and we'll be here to answer all your questions. Because one of the things that is holding us back is we don't know where to look for the information. We often don't know how to get information. The information might be there, but we don't know how to do that. So what we need you to do is to share what you're seeing now, share it with as many people as possible, through your Facebook, through your WhatsApp. And my belief is if you can do all this, and we can push the awareness of dementia as far as we can do, and we begin to create much needed awareness so that people are free to talk about dementia, and then we'll be able to discuss it, as opposed to trying to hide and isolate themselves because somebody has dementia.
I bet one of the things that you would love to see a group of people maybe sitting at a dining table and the topic is about dementia. What do we do?
That would be almost like a dream come true for me to walk into any place. I mean, for example, you know how Africans, we like to party.
Oh yes.
I would love to walk into a party and people are discussing about dementia and not looking at it as this bad condition that everybody's running away from. You have to talk about all these illnesses because it's part of us. So I would love a situation where through DinpasTV, through what we're doing, people can easily ask questions and sit down and discuss it. And if we can create that, we'll break so many barriers and people might come forward and begin to talk about dementia.
Exactly. Do you know what? There's no money that could buy this. I mean, I'm just always blown away by it. Every time we do this program, by the time I've walked out of here, I'm like, wow, it's just so important that we capture the information. We go online and found out a bit more about what the condition is. I mean, I know last time when we were here, you kind of differentiated what Alzheimer's is and what dementia is. People do get a bit confused. As I left the program and I went away, a couple of friends rang me and said, oh, next time that Chino comes on, can you maybe spend a little bit more time talking about Alzheimer's? Is there a particular group of people that might get Alzheimer's and not dementia, or is it equally the same? It doesn't matter where you're from.
I think
regardless,
the issue with dementia is unique in the sense that it cannot affect anyone.
Anyone.
It can affect anyone. But what we do know is the largest understanding about dementia is Alzheimer's.
Okay.
It's got the highest diagnosis in the UK. I think it's between 60 and 80% of all dementia diagnoses is Alzheimer's. But then people think about dementia as the big condition. But I've always have to let people understand that dementia is the umbrella of all the dementia.
Yeah, you explained that last time. Yeah.
So it's like having a tree. You have the tree trunk, and then you have all the branches. That's what dementia is about. So dementia is the umbrella. You have Alzheimer's, you have vascular dementia, you have mixed dementia, you have frontemporal. There's well over 400 of them that people can easily get, and so anybody can get it. So, but what we're trying to do is to say, this is dementia. If you feel some certain symptoms, you're losing control of what you're doing, you're physically not being able to do what you used to do, you're having memory losses here and there. We're not technically saying, oh, suddenly you've got dementia. No. What we're saying is, if you begin to feel this way, go and ask your GP some questions. Go and ask questions. Because there are professionals out there, the specialists, will be able to do what they have to do. And then if they find out that you have dementia, then people can come in, people like me can come in with with our dementia care specialists. We come in and put in place, strategies and put things in place for you if you're in a care home or you're in your own residential home. Wherever you are, we'll come in, we put in strategies to support you, and then you carry on living your life. But what we find out in BME, again, coming back to us, is we'll wait.
Until our back is against the wall.
And wait.
Yeah.
You feel something, there's something not right about the way you feel. You sit down there, you're not seeking help.
But maybe, Chino, sorry to cut you there, maybe we don't know what it is. That's why we're waiting and waiting.
And this is why we say you should ask questions.
True.
Which is why I gave an example. Yeah. We believe engineers to build this big aeroplane to fly us, but we don't believe the doctor, the GP, to tell us, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, or maybe I should send you to memory clinic, or maybe I should send you to go and have a scan.
Yes.
So that's what the doctors are. They're specialists. They train for this. They train to pick up anything. So it's all well and truly, I'm Amy, we here on DinpasTV saying, oh, if you feel this way, maybe you should seek help. But why don't you proactively go and ask questions? That's all we're saying. You ask questions, the GP is in a position to say, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, and this is what is going on. Fair enough. Or if he feels that there's something wrong, he knows the appropriate quarters to send it to. And that's what we want people to know. There is information out there. It might not be as open and as freely, easily accessible to the BME, but you need to start asking questions.
I actually think there's a lot of information out there.
There's a lot of information about dementia.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are not finding out. There's loads and loads of info.
And we're not pushing.
Yeah.
So which is why something like DinpasTV is something that is doing something. All the series you're going to go through, watch it, share it, and then if you feel, oh, one of the things they were discussing about DinpasTV was something that I have experienced, then ring DinpasTV.
Exactly.
Let's have a discussion.
Exactly.
And then if we cannot give you, if you're not satisfied with the answer we're giving you, go to your GP. There's options there to ask questions. And so we want to try and push this as far as we can so that people are free and comfortable and confident enough to ask questions.
Yeah, because of course the field you're in, you know the experts. Of course you work with doctors and people that would be able to signpost or be able to, work with our community.
Yes. So it would be nice for the BME people to ask us questions.
Of course.
It would be very, very nice for them to ask us. But we want to carry on this journey together, so that in the end, instead of people not trying to open up, people are actually opening up, because that's what it's about. So it's about creating awareness and educating our people to say there is help out there, but we need to push it and find the help.
Yeah. So, Chino, tell me, I know last time we were here, you gave us some of the telltale signs, but what is a typical sign of dementia? What would one be seeing instantly?
Well, some of them.
I know it's a gradual, is it disease or condition?
Condition,
yeah.
Yes.
It's a gradual thing, isn't it? But
yes.
What's a typical sign? What are some of the typical signs?
Well, I think one of the big ones that comes to mind is, memory loss.
Okay.
You begin to forget things that you normally would remember and easily. And then your coordination.
Is that memory loss as in short-term or long-term memory, or does it matter?
It doesn't necessarily matter, but once you're beginning to feel that you're forgetting things that normally come to you naturally, but we're not saying when that happens, you have dementia. But what we're saying is you can ask questions. It's almost like if you're constantly having headache, you're not going to sit down there and wait. you will go and ask questions. Why am I having headache? So that's what it is. So memory loss will be one of them. You know, you begin to have your cognitive abilities begin to decrease. You know, your communication skills begin to, you know, kind of disappear. So you beginning to, you know, slow your languages and begin to miss things that you normally come and then the other thing we'll try to talk about is if you start doing things that you know that naturally this is not you, you need to ask questions. And one of the simple examples that would normally bring up is you put a key in your door, you go into your house and you're looking for the key. Or you have your glasses on your head and you're looking for your glasses.
But I mean, do we do this sometimes? I think naturally some of us do this.
Yeah, some of us do this naturally without even realizing we're doing it.
Yeah, but if it becomes something you constantly doing, you come into your house, you're looking for your shoes. The shoes is on your feet.
It's on your feet sometimes. But always saying is go and ask questions.
Yeah.
You go to the specialist and say, this is what I'm beginning to notice. Every time I come into my house, I'm looking for my shoes. I've got my shoes on my leg. Yeah. I have my hat, and my hat is on my head. So you begin to have all these things that you know normally it's not you. Go and ask questions. Let the experts advise you. And this is exactly what DinpasTV is about.
Absolutely.
Ask us questions. If it's something we can answer, we answer. If we don't, we direct you to somewhere. We signpost you to the specialist who will now advise you. And like I said, your first port of call is go to your GP. Ask questions.
I don't know, honestly.
It's very important.
It is so important. I mean, you know, NHS is free, I think, or indirectly, we're paying for it. Yes. So it's you know, you can just knock on the door and say, look, this and this is the problem. Can I please get help? Or how best can I get advice? I just can't stress this enough. Honestly, viewers, please, if you're watching this program right now and you feel that something isn't right with somebody you know, or someone you work with, or someone you live with, or a relative, please do drop us a line. It's really important that you do that because you don't want to leave things till too late where you can't do nothing about it. And I know I can speak from being Ghanaian and being an African, where we can leave things to the last minute and then guess where we run to the church for the pastor to pray for us. And if it doesn't go, then what? Something is wrong. Our ancestors have put a curse on us. We've got to move away from that, honestly. We've got to understand that some conditions are real, some conditions are here to stay. There is nothing you and I can do about it. I know I'm talking from a very passionate place, and I do the work I do with DinpasTV because we want to reach as many people as we can. And it's so important that we share this knowledge. Share it with so many people. Share it with your friends. The last show that we aired, somebody rang me, my cousin rang me from America and went, wow, I'm in America and I'm watching this. You know, it doesn't matter. Social media is it's a brilliant platform. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can capture this information. When you get it, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to a friend. It doesn't matter how old you are. Everybody needs to know about this condition. I've started educating my 10-year-old what this condition is about. She does have grandmothers. She does have, you know, grandfathers and uncles and so forth. So I've started educating already. Doesn't necessarily mean you've got to wait till at an older age before you actually go and find out about this.
Which is fantastic. And that's exactly what I'm hoping that we can achieve with this journey we are with DinpasTV. You know, push it to the level where, you know, all these young, the next generation are not scared to talk about it. Yes. That's the whole idea of us doing this project is we want people to be able to talk about it because it's not something that somebody would think it's not going to happen. It is happening, and every day, like I said last time, for every 4 seconds, the one person somewhere around the world is diagnosed with dementia. When
you gave that statistic, I almost fell off my chair, to be honest with you. It's so real that I was like, I just couldn't believe it. When you gave that sort of statistics, I was like, wow. So how long have we been on air? You know, so you can imagine.
You can imagine. So
how many people?
You know, it's a lot. And you know, as you said, World Health Organization is saying, like I said last time, well over 50 million people around the world is living with dementia. Wow. So this is not a condition that people will think, oh, is it there? It is there. There's a whole lot of research have been done about it. There's a whole lot of experts about it that have said about it. So it's not something anybody can dispute anymore. It's there. So the more we can educate our people, the better. I
can feel the passion. Honestly, I bet you just want a stage in Wembley Stadium somewhere just to really talk to our own community and just say, look, please, let's wake up and smell the coffee. Sometimes we've got to say things as they are. We can't sugarcoat certain things because it is real. It's here to stay. And the only best way is to gain information. If you're watching this program right now, you may have your phone with you. Instead of maybe, I don't know, going on Instagram, read a lot of things, something on dementia, you know, and find out about these things, because it will help us. Of course, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at DinpasTV and all the other social media handles that we have. Facebook, you can also find us on there. And like I said earlier, if it gets dropped into your WhatsApp for some reason, share it with someone else. If everybody who's watching this can share with every other person, this message would just keep going out and further and further and further. It's not just the comical stuff that we get that we should share with our friends and have a good laugh about it. This is so important.
Yes.
In all my life in the UK, I've never had anyone, you know, giving awareness of dementia.
Yeah.
You know, I've got parents that are getting old. My mum's getting quite old, and you know, I've got relatives and uncles and all that. And it, you know, when I went to see my mother, I actually started talking to her about dementia and the effects it can have, and I spoke in my native language.
Yes.
You know, even if you don't understand this, and you think, oh, it's all going over my head, the little you've gained, you can actually break it down in your own dialect or your own language.
Exactly.
And you know, you can share it.
Yeah.
You know, when you meet your friends and you're going out for a social gathering, bring it up as a topic.
Yes.
What do you know about dementia? Can we talk about this? You know, and this way, you know, we can carry on just basically working in our community. Is there anything that you want to add to that, Chino?
Well,
I know you've been hammering on about it.
You've covered so much of what I would love to say. I mean, the example you gave sharing with friends and all that stuff, share it. And you can imagine if a friend of yours sends you a clip of them partying. So many people will share that, or they want to see you. So why don't we start sharing about dementia? That is what I'm so passionate about, sharing issue about dementia. Let's talk about it, let's discuss it. And if we can get it going, that would have made my day. And I'll be so happy to share the discussion of dementia with anybody, anytime.
Oh, this is fantastic. Honestly, Chino, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for your time, for coming on DinpasTV. Thank you for the knowledge you shared with us. Honestly, thank you. And carry on doing what you're doing. Of course, you've got your own organisation. Yes. If you want to tell us a little bit about that and the launch of it.
Yes.
When you're launching that, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we're hoping to launch dementia care experience and workshops. What we're hoping to do that is to get the workshop across, you know, every community. We want to try and a situation where we go for workshops, we create workshops, we give people these experiences, and I'm hoping that somewhere along the line we will use DinpasTV to popularize, you know, get dementia care experience and workshop for everybody to begin to experience what we're trying to do.
Of course, the date of this launch, I don't know if you've got the date for us. If you want to share with us, or maybe our next program when you finalize everything.
Well, we're looking at February. We're hoping to launch in February.
And it's going to be in London somewhere?
It'll be in London somewhere. And then, but we're hoping that we get enough sponsorship to try and bring people together. It's not about just, you know, trying to raise too much money, but it's about creating something that everybody will be aware of. So we're hoping to launch in February, yes.
Wonderful. And of course, once we come back on air, which will be a couple of weeks' time, so we'll be talking about carers of people living with dementia. And then our next program will be communicating with people living with dementia. And obviously, it'd be so great to have you all join us again and share your experiences with us, or ask us the question. No matter how you think that question might come up, you may think it's a silly question, but ask us. Because if you don't ask, you're never going to know what the answer will be.
Yes.
And of course, once Chino tells us about the date, we want to see if you are in the UK or London.
Yes.
We'd love to invite you to come along and hear Chino talk about the great work that he's doing within the BME community. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.